You blockhead.
Thomas here with Much Props, going to give you another how-to video. Today I am once again building something Christmas themed from one of my family's favorite Christmas movies. This week I thought I would dive into the world of Peanuts and commemorate a Charlie Brown Christmas. In that movie there are some, we'll say, choices of decor that Charlie makes to supply the kids with a Christmas tree, and it is a bit lackluster, and that's what I'm going to build. I know I could easily go outside and grab some pieces of wood and a random pine tree branch and make it for real, but I want to, like in most builds, challenge myself to make it out of materials that you wouldn't expect. So I am going to make it out of EVA foam, and yeah, that way I can continue to use it and not have to worry about it dying. Today we're making Charlie Brown's Christmas tree. Let's get to building. I don't know how much talking I need to do for this build, as it's pretty simple. I find a reference image and then cut out the planks for the bottom out of some 24mm foam. If you can't find that thickness, just stack up whatever you can. You could also make this build out of actual wood and save yourself a lot of work. Now I'm going to sand back the foam using the edge of my sanding disc to make a faux wood grain. I make my first pass deep to establish the grain, then another pass lighter to add more details, and I also use a hobby knife to add even more variations. Make sure if you're sanding foam you wear a respirator and work in a well ventilated area. You don't want to breathe in this stuff. You can also use some scissors to cut out rough chunks. Then I seal the foam with a heat gun and a quick blowtorch. My tree branch is going to be a little thicker than Charlie Brown's, so I'm using a 36mm EVA dowel. To make my branch posable, I am going to cut halfway through it with a box cutter and then glue in a piece of fencing wire. Once it's glued in, I'm going to make the branch less symmetrical and taper it off towards the tip. Then, just like with the planks on the bottom, I carve in some grooves for detail. I repeat the same step for each of the branches that I add. For the needles of the tree, I'm cutting up some 2mm EVA foam into tiny little strips. Then I'm cutting slits into the branches to shove them into, fastening it with super glue. Towards the end of the branch, I split it in half and glue needles through the middle. Two coats of Plastidip. Then I hit the entire thing with a few shades of brown spray paint. To make the carved detail stand out, I'm going to water down some black acrylic paint and push it into the crevices, then wipe away the high points with a paper towel. To differentiate the base from the tree, I wanted to make the bottom a bit lighter, so I'm going to mix up some brown with white and lightly dry brush on the wood planks. This will make the detail stand out more and make it a little lighter color than the branch. I also go in and hand paint each needle back to green. The last touch is a red ornament, and with that, my Charlie Brown Christmas tree is done. Hope you enjoyed the video, and just wait till you see what I have planned for next week. finished. Here is the end result. It stands about 2.5 foot tall, and I added one single red ornament to the tree to cap it off. Definitely something that's pretty simple to build, and there are much easier ways to go about building it, but I wanted to make it out of foam for funsies. Maybe you will try and make one of these yourselves and impress your friends with your ability to pull something from a 1965 cartoon and bring it into the modern real world. Yeah. Maybe you'll get some.
Yay!
And inevitably, they're going to ask you, how'd you make that? You can give them one of these. Tell them, much props. Let's go see if the other kids like my tree choice. Peace out. If you enjoy what I do here on YouTube and want to see more builds like this one, please consider joining these awesome people listed here with me over on my Patreon to build a bigger, better, more creative community together.